Hey, what's happening, everybody? Dan here with Steven Schinder and our first-time guests. We are so honored to have the Gottlieb brothers, Douglas and Glenn. And if you're a Yes fan, you'll know who they are. If you're not a Yes fan, I don't know why you're here. No, we're kidding. We're kidding. We appreciate everybody who's watching us live as we're broadcasting December 4th on the Yesshift Facebook and YouTube channels and Drum Talk TV YouTube and Facebook channels. So welcome, everybody. If you have questions, comments, go ahead and type them in the chat. We'll get to comments as we go. Let us know where you're watching from. And the brothers are coming to us from New York City, where probably some of you have heard of the Shuttle, New York City. So what's up, guys?
Hey, Dan, Steve, great to see you. We watch you every week, and so happy to make our debut here.
Awesome. Yes. Thank you. We're honored to have you, Steve.
Honored to be here.
Oh, you're muted, I think. There you go. You're good, Steve. Oh, you just muted yourself again. There we go.
Okay.
I'll leave everything alone.
Right off the top, we'll talk about your involvement over the years, but first off, I want to remind everyone about your Yesstuff books, which I'll turn off this visual effect thing so that they show up all okay. So there's that one, there's volume 1, which is tour books, and volume 2, concert posters, and volume 3, the picture sleeve singles. And we have graphics, which I'll pull up in a moment. But yeah, like,
why don't I have those? Why don't I have those? I just realized that. Steve sent me the link.
Okay, yeah, they're on Amazon. But yeah, tell us about the process of putting those together.
Well, it starts with the obsession. It starts with either you have the gene or you don't. I think either you're prone to collect, you're drawn to collecting, and I've been a collector my whole life. As a little kid, I collected something.
Really? That's
it might have been, baseball cards at one point, and coins happened for a phase, and something else happened. And I settled in on the thing that meant the most to me, which was music in general. And the band, of course, is Yes. And it comes so naturally that I think collecting it's not consciously collecting. It's just acquiring more stuff to hear and more stuff to look at with Roger Dean art.
Oh,
you know it, you've got a stack of things and you're a collector. So these books, it's an accumulation of decades of acquiring stuff that we love. And at a certain point, you realize it's all sitting here, collecting dust, or sitting in closets, or sitting on bookshelves or record shelves. And other people might at least enjoy looking at it. And it's about sharing the knowledge, really.
That's cool.
Channeling all of that obsessive behavior into something constructive.
That's a great way to put it.
Creative outlet, and just really, but it is like Glenn said, it's fun to every time we talk about this stuff, or we talk about any particular category of things, we'll look at the collection. It's really Glenn's collection, which is just astounding, and we go, oh my God, we got to do a book on this, and then we get all obsessed about it and start documenting it and going through it, and we're halfway into a book, and
wow,
we tend to jump around a lot. So we'll look at one thing and we'll go halfway down a road on one category with tour books, and then we'll go, oh my God, look at these posters. We have to do something with posters, and we'll
there you go.
So at any given time, we're working on a bunch of these things at once, and we got these 3 done initially, but there's others that are all sort of brewing in the background, and hopefully will come out in the next year or so.
Yeah, we understand that there's a 4th volume coming out that allows for some fan participation. Can you talk about that and what that entails and how people can get involved?
Yeah, that's one of the ones that I think we're maybe most excited about is because this is such, as you guys know, it's such a talented, fun, like passionate community, the Yes fan community, and there are great musicians in the community. There's people like Miguel Pacquiao, who's just an astounding bass player. There's great tribute bands. Everybody is trying to express their passion and love for Yes in a different way. You guys have this incredible podcast.
Thank you.
There's like Yes fans have tremendous energy and passion for the music and express it in amazing ways. And we just wanted to showcase it in a book because that's one of our obsessions is printed material and books and sort of designing and packaging things. And we thought it would be a great combination. So we're hoping anybody who submits a story or photographs or artwork,
Oh, wow.
what their favorite albums are, just anything that you're passionate about with Yes, we want to feature in the book and sort of have a kind of a record of this community, essentially.
That sounds like a careful what you ask for department. I mean,
yeah. Well, I think our goal is to include everybody. So if it really is, hundreds and hundreds and thousands of submissions, we'll go multiple volumes.
That's awesome. Wow.
Yeah, I was about to suggest that it might have to be like a volume 1, 2, or 3 type of situation.
Yeah.
So if enough people want to get involved and contribute, we used to walk into bookstores and Barnes and Noble and see Deadhead books.
Yeah.
Tons of them.
Yeah.
We flip through them. They're so much fun. They're such a colorful, vibrant, dedicated, super loyal community.
Absolutely. And you're right. Yes fans are absolutely the same way.
Exactly. Got the same graphic ties to the band that the Dead has.
Yeah.
It's Roger Dean instead of Mouse and Kelly and Rick Griffin. And Yes, painted band back in the 70s. It's a whole culture.
Yeah, that's cool. That's really interesting. I was showing the guys before you logged on, Stephen, before we went live, my picture of Alan White and I when Alex was little. I'll save that story for your book if you're interested on how Alan and I met. It's a fun story. I think it's fun.
That would be fantastic. That would be amazing. You'd love that.
Great. And I'll play musical windows here. There we go.
Yeah, and we got these other scans from the book, so I'll go ahead and cycle through those, and then I'll talk a bit about them. These are really well made. I love the layout. The pictures are pretty big, and you get like these little blurbs next to each of the photos. And like I feel like with each of these Yesstuff books, you have to read them at least twice. Like the first time is to flip through just to take in all the pictures that are in there, and the second time is to actually read the details on these things and next to these things. Like I think it's really great the way you guys have put all this memorabilia together in one place instead of people having to try to scavenge them online and whatnot.
Yeah, and the formatting's great. I love how these pages are formatted too.
Oh, that's really nice of you to say. That's really what we were hoping to achieve. It's great to hear you say it. We wanted to sort of have the books work on multiple levels, both for the really obsessive collector type, but also for a more general audience who's just passionate about the band. And it sort of becomes a visual history because it really is, it's chronological from the very beginning to present day. And it sort of tells the Yes story in a visual way, but it's also highly annotated and of interest to collectors. And Glenn has obsessive detail on the like literally every catalog number, and really owns pretty much. Well, you should talk about the collection because it overruns it overruns multiple buildings, I think.
Yeah, someone said to me, a band member said, "Oh, your place must look like a museum," and I said, "It's more like a warehouse."
Yeah.
Wow.
It's
a warehouse in the end of Indiana Jones 1.
exactly. A museum's too highbrow.
It's probably
more
closer to the pin. Yeah.
That's hilarious. Interesting.
So in the first Yesstuff book, you mentioned how you two got into Yes, and then eventually got involved. So you were involved with ABWH, and then that was sort of the gateway into being involved with Yes into the 90s onward, right? Tell everyone how that all kicked off.
Yeah, we had been doing a fan magazine starting in 1987, so it was pre-Big Generator, and it was kind of a lark. I had just graduated college. Glenn was still in college. Desktop computers were just becoming a thing, and we learned how to use Macintosh, and were really interested in publishing. I was a magazine art director at the time, and it just felt like a fun lark. And we were just writing and publishing them. We'd send them off to the band, and we never knew if they looked at it or not. We never heard anything. And then when ABWH happened, came home one day and saw a blinking light on the answering machine, and hit the button, and there was a voice saying, "Hey guys, it's John Anderson." Like, we didn't know from the first syllable out of his mouth.
As if you wouldn't know.
"I got your magazine. I think it's great. Give us a call. I want to tell you what's happening with the band these days."
That's great.
And that started it. And he invited us down to rehearsals, and we got to meet ABWH, and sort of went from there. And really have gotten to know them all over the years, but that was the beginning.
Yeah, they were incredibly supportive from the
That's
earliest
great.
days, which was incredible for us.
It speaks, no pun intended, volumes of your work and the fact that they appreciate it. And I want to encourage people to chime in with their favorite work by the Gottlieb brothers, or favorite Yes album songs, covers by Roger Dean. Let's get some Yes conversation going here with the audience. And there's 2 comments I'll read. One, John A. Mick, watching on YouTube, says, "Glenn hasn't aged in 30 years. Expose the truth. He drinks the blood of kittens."
Oh my.
And
That's
then
a dark joke we share when we run into each other at shows.
Yep. And don't think for a second, John, that it doesn't piss me off to no end.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. Meadowlander says, "Hello, Gottlieb brothers. You guys do some great work. I'm planning to submit some Yes memories and photos tomorrow." That's great. Where can people do that? We'll put that Steve will put it in the comments. Where can people do that?
Yeah, there's a forum on our website. We would ask if people could use the forum, because it's got, it captures all of the details that we're looking for, as well as your permission to use it. And it's on GottliebBrothers.com. Can't miss it.
That's great. And he also says, he or she, sorry, I don't know, says, "I have dozens of Yes magazine. Is there any way to fill the holes in my collection with back issues?" And before you guys answer, I want to remind Meadowlander that they don't print things on papyrus anymore. So how can someone do that if that's what they want to do? Is that a possibility, or is it all digital now, the library of that stuff?
We've been talking about maybe kind of remastering them, and if there's interest in the book series, we may sort of do a volume that's just Yes magazine, and it would include all.
That'd be great.
So if there's interest, we would definitely that's one of the things on the list to do.
Yeah, we've got a bunch of ideas stacked up, and that would be a fun one for us.
If I may submit an idea, if you're going to highlight, I don't know if you plan on putting the whole catalog of the Yes magazines in the book, but if you had a QR code where they could buy the volumes, or certain years or collections or something like that, that'd really be neat.
Yeah, that's a great idea. We absolutely are thinking about doing it. It's funny, some of these magazines go back to almost pre-CD stages. So a lot of those early issues are Glenn and I grousing about the fact that there's only 2 Yes albums on CD, and what the hell? What waiting for? How come, how come the Yes album isn't out on
going for the one on CD? This was 87 that first start, and things were just switching over.
That's hilarious, though.
You're impatient complainers.
Yeah, and now look at it. Not only is CDs almost maybe on the verge of going away with digital downloadable music, but this resurgence in vinyl, it's like, what's next? We're all going to be running around barefoot with Flintstones cars, or what's happening? And I welcome the vinyl, because then we get to see all that packaging in the size it was meant to be to begin with. And for newer stuff, we get to see bigger artwork. I love that.
I've always loved vinyl. Of course, we come from vinyl, and I still have my original vinyl, and I still buy vinyl. But I'm confused about how young people can afford vinyl. I mean, I bought records. If I couldn't afford the $4.99 new sealed record, I bought it for $1.99 used.
Yeah.
Wow.
And today I heard that an average vinyl in 2025 is $37.
Wow.
So,
That's crazy.
I don't know. If I was 20, I couldn't afford it, but I
Yeah.
guess the world's.
I can't afford it now.
That's a good point.
Yeah, I am kind of selective with which albums I get on vinyl. So yeah.
Yes, albums are essential because they've got amazing artwork, and it's just that's the only physical format that I'm really still obsessive about buying is Yes albums and collecting those. But yeah.
Yeah. I have a question I want to throw in. How'd you guys like get looped in? Well, I guess it started with that call from John, right? To really start working closer with the band and whatnot. Is that how you guys ended up with this crappy career that you're stuck with?
Well,
that was the beginning, right?
I mean, the fans, the magazine started. I never knew what a zine
Right,
was.
a fanzine. Yeah,
I never had seen one. Of
Right.
course, they were out there for Yes, and for rock bands, and for poetry writers, and artists, and photographers. But I never came across me. And a college friend showed me a Yes zine.
Not just a college friend, but an interesting full circle college friend.
Yeah, great guy, Sid Schwartz, who's very knowledgeable and active in
written liner notes for the super deluxe editions.
Exactly.
For Warner.
Wow. Very interesting.
And it blew us away. It was maybe an 8-page thing, photocopied, staple in the corner. It had articles photocopied out of Rolling Stone magazine and Circus magazine, compiled into one place.
Wow.
And we used to go to newsstands and scour the racks for articles about Yes. They weren't always easy to find, unless Yes was active at that moment.
Right.
And here they were compiled in one place, and that was fantastic. And we thought, well, as we got a little more sophisticated, we said, well, let's do our own. But we had some rules. One is all original material.
Perfect.
No stealing things from Circus magazine, because we had thoughts about Yes, we had things to say. And we were also professional graphic designers, or at least young, starting out in our career with an interest in graphic design. So our goal was to make it look good and be original material. And that sort of is what we built up. And I think the quality of the magazine attracted Yes's attention.
Yeah. In fact, again, this was a couple of years later, and Atlantic were finally getting around to reissuing the Yes catalog with Roger Dean artwork. And I think they were about to do Steve's first 2 albums. And Roger suggested to Steve that, we were doing really good design with Yes magazine, and maybe we could help out with the repackaging for Atlantic, and he would sort of oversee and sort of guide it, but we would do the design and do the mechanicals and assemble it all. And so that started us doing album package design. We did Beginnings and the Steve Howe album, and then we did most of the Atlantic reissues on a Super Saver series. So I think there were 11 CDs at the time.
Wow.
And we got to kind of reinstate Roger's artwork, which had been left out miraculously from the first run.
Yeah, how's that possible?
There was literally like the cover and a white, empty nothing. It was like a 1-page insert. It was like,
did they not want to pay the royalty or like save on ink? What's the reasoning?
It was rushed out, and they just did it. And we were still like battling for space on those. The Atlantic production crew were really tolerant and generous with us, because we would say, like, it was budgeted as a Super Saver, so it still was a budget package.
Yeah.
Oh, come on! It's got like, Yes Songs came with a whole booklet, and it was a triple gatefold, and it had all this artwork and custom printed sleeves, and the labels were, all this stuff. And the production person would go, all right, let me try, and they would get us like an extra panel or 2 for color. And we were cramming everything into it, and we got as much in as we possibly could. But we did, I think, in like no time at all, we were turning them around like overnight.
Wow.
Yeah, working day jobs.
And
We were young. We could do it. We could work around the clock back then.
There's no email, so we would get like they would send Lennox would send a messenger with a floppy disk from uptown to midtown where I was working at the time. And
Wow.
Glenn would drive in and meet me in my office after work, and we'd stay there till like 2 a.m. Us and the security guard as we went through these things, crazy. And then
Steve,
work.
yeah, I want to ask Steve, can you, like, hearing that, can you imagine a world with no email or Dropbox to transfer all this stuff?
Yeah, that's even tougher. Like, I hear all these stories about, how the writers of like the Ninja Turtles comics, the original ones in the 80s, like all the work that they had to do, or like that first pilot episode of Park and how much work that was, and just how much easier things became as technology marched on. It's like, I don't know how long I would last just not being able to use any of that to get any work done. And I've stayed up late, like pulling all-nighters for finals at college.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But if you don't know any different, you're not missing it.
It was miraculous because we were doing the work of what would normally cost thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars to do color separations and color art for just for our time. But I remember in those early days we got to do a couple of laser discs, which were these video discs that are LP sized.
I have some. Yeah.
And so they are vinyl sized, but you would place the image or try to do something in Photoshop, and literally you'd have to walk away for 15 minutes while it processed through, while it did its thing.
Yeah, we'd go to dinner sometimes. It would take so long, but we didn't. It's all we knew. It was a miracle it could happen at all.
Yeah. A couple more comments I want to chime in, and I'll hand it back to Steve. Thank you. Meadowlander says, great idea regarding the QR code. That's cool. And also says, the Close to the Edge tour book was stellar. I was able to get a Yes50 tour book from Japan. Great work. And Wu Bino, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, Wu Bino, says, the 1977, before the internet, I wrote Atlantic, and they mailed me a 8x10 black and white promo shots from the Going for the One sessions. Wow. Nice. That's a nice collector's item for sure.
Really, really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, I think the earliest tour book by you guys that I ever read, it might have been the 35th anniversary tour one. I remember Dad had it, and so, he'd be working in his office at the time. I was like 9 or 10 or whatever, and like just how the layout was, and you mentioned this in the Yesstuff book as well, how it kind of shows like the different like bootlegs that people put together over the years, and I was so fascinated by that because I was like, wait, what's a bootleg? And like learning about like all these recordings and stuff. It's like, wow, so there's a lot more than just what's in the official ES catalog, and just the creative names, sometimes silly names that people come up with the titles of these things. But it just kind of, I don't know, it just sparked my imagination seeing like all the different things that people could do with that.
That's cool.
Really fun one. And that was tour books are probably the merchandise that we're most obsessive about. And I think we talk about this in the book, how we've always wanted them to be more than just kind of a throwaway souvenir. And Yes books were always special because they had Roger artwork and there was more care put into them. But the average rock band tour book was just a bunch of fluffy pictures, and that was about it. And we wanted to make them have more content and be have more of a keepsake and more value to them. And so little by little over the years, they keep growing, and we're kind of leaning into the book aspect of a tour book.
We never dared push the limit too far, just out of our own common sense. No one ever told us how big or small a book had to be. I think that book you just described, Stephen, was 36 pages, Doug? I'm not sure. That was the biggest one we'd ever done. Yeah. And we never came close to that size until the 50 book. And we were asked to do something really special and unique to celebrate the big occasion of 50 years.
Yeah.
And they sort of gave us free reign. So we just we had without any limitations on us. It ended up being a 148-page book, and
Wow.
and loved it, and the fans loved it, and we sort of kept up that style of giant, oversized, real books, not just programs, from that moment onward.
Wow. So for that one, did you end up having to trim down a few pages, or was it basically what the end result was?
Oh, we could have gone bigger. You know, we could always go bigger. At a certain point, we figured, you know, for them to be able to carry it around and produce it and sell it for an affordable amount, we couldn't go too crazy. But 148 pages was, and it was 10 times the size of our previous biggest books.
Yeah, we were a little nervous. I mean, no one knew what we were going to deliver. We didn't tell them because we didn't know. We just kept on. It was
writing, yeah.
Organically turned out being. And if you look at that book, it's mostly words. There's not too many images, or, you know, we like to use this memorabilia, all the stuff that's in our Yesstuff series. Those books have just 3 or 4 posters.
That's amazing.
A handful of 45s and a few ticket stubs here and there, but it's mostly words. It's one of the things that inspired us to do this new series now. Is we use this stuff to illustrate tour books, but we've got to be selective. We've got to use just a few posters, a few records, a few graphics. There's no room. I mean, the books would be thousands of pages. We used everything. So Yesstuff is about using everything. Is there a place to get obsessive and show it all and leave nothing on the table?
Yeah, we thought, how can we do with thousands of pages? Yeah. Oh, well, let's do multiple books of a couple of 100 pages at a time and show every poster and show every 45 and show every tour book. And
that's great.
This category and that category.
Yeah, the constraints of doing a tour book sort of inspired our current series.
That makes sense. And Metalander also says, I love how you stay true to the original designs of the Legacy tour books. The sticker set I got with the Tales Anniversary tour book was amazing. That's a great compliment.
Oh, thank you for noticing. That's a true Yes fan who knows that level of minutia and detail, but we appreciate it. That's great.
The original UK Tales 73 book had a die-cut cover, and it came with a free sticker insert. Which very few people know about because it's such a rare thing. So we had a chance to do a Tales book. It had the die cut, and we included stickers.
That's awesome. That's my favorite Yes album. What's your guys' favorite Yes albums, respectively?
It's a good question. You want to go, Doug?
No, for me, I was going to say, for me, it's the one I'm listening to at the moment.
Okay.
But, whatever that happens to be, but invariably that would be probably between, well, if you would have to really narrow it down, I would say it's between Close to the Edge, Tales, and Relayer.
Same, yeah. How about you, Glenn?
You know, like Doug said, they're all favorites, and I love Tales. If I had to rank them, Close to the Edge, Edge is out.
Tales.
No pun intended. That's
as
well.
That's great. That's great. Great stuff.
Also, I think in recent years, they feel like they're back on sort of a big upswing. So I'm really excited to hear what happens over the next couple of years with this band. I feel like they've got some momentum that's exciting.
Yeah, it is very interesting. I mean, when you look at them doing these different album series, and even if they didn't do an album series, they put out a new album and include the amount of the voluminous amount of work they have that draw from, and how eclectic they can make it if they choose to, is truly mind-boggling. You know, it's just it's incredible. It's almost 60 years worth of music. And what do you do for the 60th anniversary if there is one? And even if they're still not playing, would you do something?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's a monumental anniversary, and I'm sure they will get there. No sign of slowing down. It feels like an incredible creative burst right now, almost unlike anything I've seen ever from this band. They seem both efficient and on fire, just both live and in the studio, and energetic and positive. And I think
having fun.
Sure. Like the most fun I think I've ever seen them having together and getting along. And I think they've got a great organization around them. You know, their crew is amazing. I think their management may be the best I've ever seen, you know, for them. and their record company also just spectacular. Really, we've worked with Glenn and I've worked over the years. I don't know, a dozen or more different record companies, and they've all been fine, but nobody comes close to beyond what Beyond Music is doing with them. They've been with Inside Out rather, just phenomenal team. So I think it all contributes. They're in a really good place. So amen.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Yeah, often the support system is just so much. It lays the foundation for possibilities, and one or a group of people having the confidence and just knowing that they got these people to help get their stuff done, which is great. A couple other comments. Davey Critton 664 on YouTube watching, thank you, says, hi Glenn and Doug. Big Yes fan here, and I'm an old acquaintance of the Gottlieb brothers. I used to carry their Yes magazines in my old record store gigs. Wow. What record store was that, Davey? Let us know. And Wu Bino says, I have a WPLJ sticker with Yes MSG shows from the drama tour. Wow. I saw that at the LA Forum, 4th row, 6th row, something like that. It was just mind blowing. Yeah. Some neat stuff there. What was your record store? Do you know who that is, guys?
Yeah, I don't remember the name of the store, but thank you. That's great. That's awesome to hear from you.
That's cool.
And Long Island or a Manhattan store?
He says, I joined the chat late. Any news on a new Yes studio album? He asks as well. And then I'll read another comment. Titus Oaks.
Oh, yeah. Titus Oaks.
Great place.
Yeah. And then John C., also watching on YouTube, says, one of you outbid me for a test pressing of Elias, but I'll forgive you if included in, where did it go? The book. Laugh out loud. That's funny. He says, yeah, Long Island Music Arcade.
Oh,
sure.
Cool.
Yeah, cool stuff. Thanks for chiming in.
We had our magazine in a couple of record stores. There was some Long Island record stores that carried it. I used to bring it into a couple of the Greenwich Village record stores, which is funny. You go, those record stores are really the cliched record store guy would be completely disinterested in you as a customer. But once we were supplying them with magazines, like it was like they turned into like real people. Like, hey,
your family. That's hilarious.
Really
oh, he says, and Mr. Cheapos too.
Mr. Cheapos.
Yeah. And then we got Peter McGinnis, 1055 says, hi guys, thanks brothers for all those Yes magazines. What other band would you love to work for?
Oh, wow. Led Zeppelin.
You guys have any other band you'd want to do the same thing for? Bandwidth permitting, of course. Like I can't imagine, but
God, tons.
There's nobody who comes close to Yes. I mean, for a music passion fan base wise for us, but there are other bands we love.
Mm-hmm.
Many don't exist. Led Zeppelin, Black Sabbath, Pink Floyd.
Yeah, I think if we could just photograph a band and do design for them, it might be Kiss.
Oh, wow. Well, who knows? Maybe they'll come back after their 7th farewell tour.
Yeah,
that's possible. Yeah.
Current modern favorite artist, Steven Wilson, certainly.
Mm-hmm.
Phenomenal.
Yeah. There is some great new music coming out. I was quite the curmudgeon until, and I still am to a degree when it comes to new music, but there's some really great stuff. Big Train. We had Nick on yesterday. Pineapple Thief. I love Arch Echo. I love Haken, even though I'm not. I mean, I'm into older metal, like Iron Maiden and like Sabbath, Ozzy went up, but I love Haken. Their music is just so different and so new and fresh. And for me, as a musician and a music fan, exciting that genre has a new sound now. Right. So there's some neat stuff in both those genres, metal and current progressive stuff, and some other stuff I can't think of that I haven't mentioned, that I'm sure Steve could chime in on. But there's some good stuff. There is.
Great stuff. Yeah, I think we saw Haken, Doug. They were on the cruise, I believe.
A couple of times.
They were
phenomenal. I was going to say, I don't think we could probably work. We wouldn't be up for necessarily working with another band the way we do for Yes, because nobody else even comes close. But if there are people out there with astonishing collections and want to do a book, get in touch with us, because we're happy to collaborate too and help package it and edit it and produce. So if you're a crazy Kiss collector, reach out. Or a Zeppelin collector, let us know. Maybe we can do something together.
Yeah, like collating, and that's a passion of ours. Just
Really?
scanning and documenting. I don't think anyone's done a book like the books we just put out.
Right.
I would buy these books just out of the love of obsessive collecting.
Oh, same. Yeah.
Even bands that I love that I don't love quite as much as, if there was a Pink Floyd book that
Same. Led
every
Zeppelin,
poster,
absolutely.
Zeppelin.
Queen. Yeah.
Mhm.
Led Zeppelin or the Who or the Stone, any classic rock bands.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone's made a book that includes every program known,
Or poster and all that stuff. Yeah.
There are
Deep
plenty of
Purple.
books that feature their memorabilia and just scattered across the surface.
Yeah.
They have a page on 1966 and it shows one poster, one
Right.
program, one ticket stub. You turn the page and you're into 1967.
Right.
And they're great visual books. They're beautiful, but I always want everything.
Yeah.
And I don't know of another band that's done a book that includes everything.
No,
So
there isn't.
anyone out there has got a collection that includes everything. Let's make a book. That would be fun.
Our motto is always, too much is never enough.
Right. and when it comes to the tour books, there are also these excellent interviews and essays that you guys put in there. Something that I've always been curious about, especially when it comes to books that are co-authored, is how do the essays come together? Do you like assign different sections to each other, or how's that work?
We both just do interviews, and sometimes we do them together, sometimes we do them individually, and then we combine them and turn them into, after many, many rounds of polish, into the essays that you see. But that really, I mean, it's a very much a collaboration with the band. I mean, they're incredibly generous with their time, and they tolerate our questions and give us a lot of time and are very patient and giving in these interviews. They're very generous interviews always, and that's what makes them, I think, really great. It's been the case with the band all through the years, but this particular lineup especially have been just tremendous to work with.
Yeah, that's our formula. If we have 4 weeks deadline and we have 30,000 words to fill and we have a blank book to fill, it's intimidating and we're paralyzed for a day. And then get into it. And we interview the band and it's their words. That's our formula. They tell the story.
That's great.
We ask the questions and you know what that's all about. And they give us the words.
Yeah, we
hammer it together.
That's great. Steve, do you want to address some of those comments? Starting from...
Yeah, so I see, let me just scroll up a bit. I'm
not familiar with Alex Tilbrook. Maybe start there.
Yeah, I see that Gilly Good News said, what do you think of Alex Tilbrook's art for Sleep Token? I don't know if either of you are familiar with that. I certainly am not, but
we're familiar with Gilly Good News. Big Gilly. Gilly's internet everywhere. So but no, I'm not familiar with that.
I don't know that art. No.
And John C says Twin Cities has a cheapos, no Mr. 2. Got some Yes albums there over the years. Davey Cretan chiming in again saying the new Spock's Beard album is quite good too. And Wubino says just ordered book number 1 on Amazon. Oh, great. Yeah.
Great.
Cool. Definitely going to enjoy that.
Yeah, I'm going to get all of them. I got to get those. They look amazing. And just hearing about them more, it's like, why don't I have those? I've been busy. Give me a break.
Yeah. And it's great to hear from you guys because I know that everyone has their preferred lineup, but it's always great to hear when a lineup is like having fun working together. Like we've been saying, this current lineup, after the Quest, we got Mirror to the Sky, and to lots of people, it really feels like they're like going upward and whatnot. So I think the next album is supposed to come out sometime next year, according to like a couple of the interviews I've seen. So I'm really curious to see how that ends up being. I'm always really excited when it comes to the new music.
On that note, I understand why some people say, it's not Yes without Peter Banks or whatever the line is. I understand that, but I don't agree with it at all, because it's over the years, it's clearly, like Jethro Tull, became an institution, and every iteration, every mark of the band, every lineup has made such an amazing contribution to music. While the styles have morphed a bit, this and that, it's like I could see favoring a lineup. I have one or two favorite lineups, but I would never throw shade at a lineup. It just doesn't make any sense to me. I just don't get that.
With you completely. It's natural. You're going to gravitate towards one more than another.
Yeah, but
much
say
more.
it's not Yes without blank.
Exactly. It's all just Yes music.
Yeah.
That they're all still active and working. We got it right being Yes fans.
And for the non-believers, go see the current lineup play some of the much older stuff that they're not on, except for, say, Steve, maybe Jeff. But other than that, watch them play Close to the Edge, watch them play Roundabout, watch them play Harder Than Sunrise, watch them play, hopefully we'll see Sound Chaser. There's other, it's still like so amazing to see them perform that stuff. It's
okay to like multiple lineups and multiple iterations. It's not like you're not being disloyal to one if you like both. Right. You like them both,
right.
Twice as much music to enjoy. What could be, it's a great time to be a Yes fan.
Yeah, I like what Davey is saying. He says Dan is correct, but everyone, hold on. Hey, someone said I'm correct. I hope my wife heard that. Dan is correct, but everyone is a keyboard warrior for now. And of course, he means this kind of keyboard. You're right. What people say behind a computer screen, sometimes I don't know if they'd be as passionate in person. That's a great point. And John C says, I wonder if the next album will have a 20-minute epic. Yeah, that'd be great. And Rubino says, seeing John in April with the Band Geeks in April at Red Bank. I wouldn't even bother. That was such a lame show. I'm kidding. That was like an amazing. Steve and I saw that together. He came to Phoenix and we saw it here. And oh my gosh, Steve says, we hung out with them afterward, and he said I turned into a little kid, or he became the dad and I was the kid, or something.
Yeah, I felt like I was taking him to the concert. But yeah, like between that and Oliver Wakeman's band and the Yes tribute bands, isn't it amazing? We have multiple.
It's amazing.
Playing Yes music.
I agree. Yes, the Band Geek show was phenomenal. A whole Yes tour. We got Billy Sherwood doing a solo tour this year. Amazing.
Yeah.
Fun.
I would be in a Yes tribute band in a heartbeat. My wife's always saying, you should join a band. You should join a band. We live in the mountains and of a community of 7,000 people. There's some really good musicians here, but I don't see forming a Yes band here. I'm 100 miles from Phoenix. I could see putting one together, but I don't know that I would do it in a heartbeat. I just love playing that music, all of it. Any album, name an album. I love playing the music.
Yep. And Total Yes 15 are incredible. I don't know if you guys have seen them in person, or you've probably seen them on video.
On video, yeah.
Phenomenal job.
Joe has invited me to sit in on a song or two at a show, but come out west, please.
No, they're terrific.
I would just love that. Yeah. Anything at all. What else do we have here? Question by Wubino says, why does John Anderson not use Roger Dean on his solo works? I think to separate himself, possibly. I don't know.
Yeah, he never has.
Right.
Back to Elias.
Right.
So.
A question for the two of them.
Yeah, like that's a question for John Anderson, if anything.
For sure.
It's a fair question, but
yeah.
It could be differences in creative directions type of thing. I think there might have been like once or twice in Yes history when John and Roger might have had different ideas.
Well, I was just going to say,
instances we ended up with going for the one. So,
yeah, I was going to say maybe Roger's still upset about going for the one Tormato and magnification. I don't know. But yeah, that's definitely a John.
Amazing. I would be happy to have every album cover ever by Roger Dean. Like you guys. There's nobody. He's phenomenal.
I don't know if you saw it, but Steve and I did a documentary. We went to San Francisco where him and Freya had I saw that. Yeah, unfortunately we didn't get to meet them because his mother had just passed away like a day or 3 before we left, and they weren't there. But that was such a wonderful experience to see such legendary art and art we had never seen by them, respectively, and together in person. Just incredible. One of the big, let's see if I have an example here. One of the big blow mind moments is that the Relayer album was about this big. The cover art was this big. Not really, a little bigger. It was about like this.
Yeah.
And it just blew my mind that it was that small. It was, and then we saw some. There's Steven's 6 feet tall, and he's standing next to one that's like a foot or 2 taller than him.
Oh yeah, the ABWH one.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it was such a treat to see that stuff in person.
The originals in person is mind blowing.
There's nothing like seeing them up close, and the level of detail and the 3-dimensionality of the paint on the canvas.
In the work with light and just amazing.
You have to see them up close.
Our walls as kids were just covered by big O Roger Dean posters from every inch of wall space. And then when we ran out of walls, Glenn kept going. And they went into it's phenomenal. Yeah.
Well, when you go to see a show, I'm sorry.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
Trading Boundaries carries and represents Roger's work in England, and when they tour, they travel with a Roger exhibit.
Yeah,
so you can see some original paintings on display at a Yes concert. So I'm sure a lot of people watching this have seen that.
And just amazingly high quality prints as well that are, a little more affordable than the originals, but also stunning. Also beautiful to see. Those guys are terrific.
I'd love to see him do an animated film of Gates of Delirium with his artwork. Just bring that to life finally. That would just be incredible. That'd be amazing.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So I think you in the comments someone was asking if you guys had been to Trading Boundaries. I'm guessing like the one in England and not like the when they travel with ES, but have you guys been to it?
We haven't yet. We'd love to get there. We haven't traveled in a while. We haven't flown overseas in a number of years. We'll get there. I'm sure we will.
That's great.
Yeah, it's like an incredible space. We've been to every venue's Trading Boundaries traveling exhibition. We've probably seen 25 or 30 of those, but not to the location.
Well, before we ask the last magic question, we got to go way back in both your careers and life experiences and ask, how did you get into photography and media and journalism? And was it the same spark for each of you or a different entry point? No pushing, no shoving.
Yeah. I guess, yeah. How to I started around college. It's funny. I thought about this a lot over the course of my life. I always think collecting, I say this half joking and half serious. Collecting to me is linked with fear of death and depression. That sounds horrible. It's like,
what's the link? How do you
preserving things? Right?
It's like trying to capture something that's fleeting.
Got it.
It's trying to stop time and preserve the past, and that's I can also say I collect because it's fun. That's all it is. It's a great hobby, but that's photography is linked to collecting. It's all tied in on some level to me. It's like photography is about not letting the past get away from me, and no matter how hard I try, it keeps on getting behind. Like Dan and I were talking before we went live about how the time, where does it go? And I think photography was always a way to stop time, and it didn't work, but I'm still trying.
But you have your mementos from it.
But it's something I love, and I don't actually think about it in such a deep way in the course of my day. It's really just it's a way to be creative.
It's documenting life. I think that was how it started for us. And then shooting concerts was kind of the ultimate thing, because you were trying to capture that moment that would make you have a picture that would make you feel like you felt at the concert. And that's of course an impossible task. Like no photo will ever make you feel like you're feeling when you're experiencing the music, but that's always the goal. So we're always trying to make that picture that makes you feel like you're there, or that you're having this idealized moment, with the band. And it's an impossible thing to capture, but that's why we keep shooting, I think, because we're chasing that one, those perfect sort of rock and roll yes moments.
That's great. Well, I'll throw it to Steve to ask you both to separately answer a question. Maybe you've seen us ask it before, that we ask at the end of every interview on Drum Talk TV and Yesshift. Steve, take it away.
Right. So this is the Gottlieb brothers fun fact question. In the slivers of time when you're not working on, tour books, photography, any music-related stuff, what do you like to do for fun?
Oh, like, is there time in between those things?
Yeah, as I was asking, I was like, these guys are busy. I don't know if they have time.
I think, I don't know. I think the answer is this is what we do for fun in a lot of ways.
Right.
I mean, if we're not, I think in between doing album designs and tour books, we didn't have enough to do, so we started doing books about Yes. There's another way to get that creative outlet. But yeah, family and friends, in between, of course.
And what do you like to do with them? Do you look at Yes books, or do you play chess or cards or ride bikes or?
Yeah, go ahead, Glenn.
I'm stumped.
That's hilarious.
No, I'm joking, but there is a lot of truth to what Doug said.
Yeah.
We lately, especially when there's always a Yes project going on, and lately, it took us about 3 years to get these 3 volumes of these books that you showed earlier compiled and ready to roll out, and we've got the next 3 in progress. So when we're not working day jobs and putting life aside to work on the Yes tour book or whatever's next up for the band, we've got to make time to get these books done. And so it is a lot of Yes in our lives.
So let's morph the question just a little bit, and not that we're not satisfied with your answers. They're great answers. What do you do to decompress? And hopefully you decompress so that you can be so productive and do such a great job at what you do. How do you decompress?
I've got to catch up on Pluribus after we speak. I'll do that.
Yeah. Pluribus is a current obsession, of course. I run a bit.
Oh, okay.
That's a good sort of decompression thing and health thing.
Great.
We're both sort of obsessive about healthy eating. I think that's another kind of obsession that we've acquired in recent years. I think maybe as we've gotten older a little bit, that's become more of a thought.
Yeah.
So we're both kind of health obsessed lately.
Yeah, I've started to run. That's inspired by Doug, who showed me the way.
Yeah.
And he also led the way on some healthier eating choices, which I never understood how to take care of myself growing up. I mean, I ate like a normal person, but no one ever, they don't teach you that in school.
Right.
There's no nutrition class. So
I ate like a normal 5-year-old for 50 years, like an unsupervised 5-year-old.
It's funny.
Yeah.
You start to realize, maybe it's time to start paying attention to that stuff.
That's great. Thanks for that. And I've got to show a couple more comments, because this is, I don't know if I've ever used this word on this show. Hopefully Steve won't yell at me afterwards, but what I'm going to show you now, this is the shit. This is a great idea. Ready for this?
Please.
Props to Chauncey. Yes, at the Sphere would be amazing. Can you imagine with Roger Dean's work as a multimedia show in the Sphere? And I love this term. Yes, at the Sphere would be karma chromatic.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
that's quoting the song All Connected.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
If anybody was made for the Sphere, it's Yes and Roger Dean.
That would be
Pink Floyd even. And Davey says Glenn loves to record. Go to record stores. There you go. I know that for a fact.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, we used to drive to record conventions all over the East Coast, but we were hunting for Yes records.
I used to go to the Capitol Records bootleg swap meet, the record swap meet, and get bootlegs.
Yeah,
I've got a bunch of bootlegs on. I've got my old player up there, a 1/4-inch reel-to-reel tape, nothing but Led Zeppelin and Yes. That's I think I have 4 Genesis bootlegs. Other than that, I've got at least a dozen of each Yes and Zeppelin, respectively. Yeah.
What was your first Yes boot?
It was my favorite is also what the first was. It's such a great recording because it's a soundboard live at the Richfield Coliseum, the first Tormato tour.
Oh, nice.
Live at the Richfield Coliseum was just, the playing is so good. The sound, you can hear the keys pop on the Hammond organ. I mean, it's just so good. Another one I think is called Stellar Exhibition. I think is from the Relayer tour.
Right.
And it's very good. It doesn't sound like that crazy mix of the film that was a bootleg and QPR. It's not like that. It sounds like it's supposed to sound. They should have used that and turned it into an album, but the QPR thing is whack. It's just so much. It's just out of balance, but we got what we got, and we're still happy to have it, right?
Absolutely. Bootlegs were our first gateway into collecting.
Yeah.
We went to I think we went to a flea market, and we said, wait a minute, we don't know this record. What is this? And we didn't know what a bootleg was.
Yeah.
And it just opened up the
floodgates. And isn't it interesting how bootlegs are now starting to become like officially released works? I mean, that's really interesting to me. Yeah.
I mean, that Ridgefield show is on the Yes official YouTube channel now.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Crazy.
No, it's great.
Should have happened long ago, but I'm glad they're getting them out now.
Yeah. Well, guys, thanks so much for taking time to come on with us. I am definitely going to go to Amazon, get those books. Folks, if you missed it, Stephen put the link to where you can get these wonderful books, and hopefully also get on the list on your guys' website so we can stay up to date with everything else going on. And anytime you have anything to talk about regarding photography, your journalism, Roger Dean, any of the members, or running or healthy eating, let us know.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys for having us. It's an honor to be on the show. We really enjoy what you guys do, and
thank you.
Really appreciate it.
Yeah, this was fun. Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. Stay on the line with Steve and I.
Yeah, thanks for being on here.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
And audience, thanks so much for following what we do here on Yesshift and Drum Talk TV. And Steve, where can they follow us? Where can they write us?
They can follow us at Yesshift on Facebook and YouTube, or go to anchor.fm/Yesshift, or type Yesshift a podcast app. You might find us. And they can write to us at yesshiftpodcast@gmail.com.
Absolutely. And we're on all the Drum Talk TV. We simulcast on the Drum Talk TV channels as well. We'll see you there. Thanks, everybody. And I can't believe the year is winding down. Steve and I are planning a year recap that we'll announce the date of soon. And this will definitely be one of the highlights that we'll mention. So thank you, guys. Bye, everybody.